We are tuning back into the start. Just getting ready. Behind the gates is event number 57, the men's 8 dash. It looks like they have just been invited onto the course. We will see in lane 2, Vesper. Lane 3, Mendota. Lane 4 is a combo from Community Rowing and Cambridge Boat Club in Boston. Lane 5, Mendota. Lane 6, Saratoga. And in lane 7 is Westside. Great to see with these big guys. They actually have to duck and lie down to get under these gates because of the wiring that's strung between the pontoons. So you'll be able to see the Mendota crew here in lane 3. And as Vesper comes through, they have to duck.
Yeah, this is an event that a lot of storied history here. It began in 1955, back when it was run as a quarter-mile race. That first year was won by St. Catharines in a time of 1:22. And St. Catharines has won this event 22 times since then. One of the interesting things I found with this event is the amount of Olympic pedigree, particularly from New Zealand in this event. In 2000, Waiariki Rowing Club out of New Zealand came. Nathan Twaddle was in that boat. He won a bronze in the pair in the Olympics in 2008. And then in 2001, Eric Murray from the Kiwi pair came over and won the dash. Eric Murray's a two-time Olympic gold medalist, rowing with Hamish Bond, winning 69 races in a row before they retired.
Kind of crazy to think that this is all happening in your backyard, but truly it's an international regatta if there ever was one.
Really is. I'm wondering if someone knows how many Olympians have come through this regatta.
I wouldn't put it past Stan Lipinski.
That's who I was going to suggest as well.
They are racing for the Donald F. Tom Memorial Trophy. Donald Tom was the coxswain of the 1929 St. Catharines Rowing Club crew, which won the Junior 8 for the first time in the club's history. He was a member of the Junior Chamber of Commerce when they promoted and ran the concessions at the Henley in the early 1940s. Don was elected president of the club in 1945 and 1946, and he was responsible for its rejuvenation after the Great Depression and World War II.
Yeah, in this event, you're going to see Mendota. Up until last year, the event was won by University of Victoria, but prior to that, Mendota had won this event 4 years in a row. So they're going to be looking to see if they can bring the trophy back to Wisconsin.
These Mendota guys, I've said it time and again, this regatta, they don't come up here, for a Sunday paddle. They are here to compete and compete multiple times every day from Tuesday to Sunday. And it definitely looks like they're getting their money's worth.
Yeah, these guys race hard during the school year. Again, University of Wisconsin, coached by Chris Smith, I believe. And that's a school they don't offer athletic scholarships. And for a number of years, they were highly competitive at the IRA championships, just working with walk-ons. So these guys come up here, and it's a great chance for them to get race experience to help them out with their schools.
Loving the fist bump here from Vesper, the coxie that looks like Schuler passing the fist bump right down to Cole up in bow.
Sorry, I think I said Chris Smith. It was Chris Clark who coaches at Wisconsin. He also rode in the boat race with the famous mutiny in the Oxford boat, I believe, in '87.
You can see the coxswain on the far side there. That looks like Vincent, the coxswain for Westside's got his hand up. Putting a hand up typically indicates that I'm not straight, I'm not ready, but we don't recognize hands racing in Canada. So just maybe an old habit dies hard.
Yeah, each country is going to have their own unique rules. Generally, countries try to follow the FISA rules, but then they do have their own rules that make sense for their development.
They're aligned. They're sitting up. I'm going to watch those blades on our side. You can kind of see, you want to make sure there's no paint showing. They want to make sure that first stroke gets off really clean. So they're going to want to dig in and make sure that the blades are fully buried in the water before they take that first stroke. And they are off. The sound of all of these boats taking off, the noise of the coxswains, the roar of the blades, it's really pretty powerful to start.
Yeah, it looks like Mendota in lane 5 got off cleanly along with Saratoga in lane 6.
The power on the end of each of these blades right now is absolutely immense.
Yeah, Mendota's rowing at 50 strokes a minute right now. That's a really high race pace to sustain. Beside them in the CRI CBC boat, they're around 51 strokes a minute.
And they're all getting in and out pretty well in time, which is pretty impressive when you think about the amount of coordination it takes to get all 8 guys doing exactly the same thing, about twice the pace that they probably normally do in practice.
Yeah, that's why you usually just see senior athletes. For a junior athlete to come in here, they just don't have the skill level yet required to row at this high level.
That CRI Cambridge combo crew in lane 4 is rowing incredibly well. Mendota in lane 5 just trying to drive it home. It looks like a two-boat race, and I think this is going to be close, Mike.
Yeah, both boats are still rowing around 46, 47 strokes a minute. There's no settling. It looks like CRI might have a seat or two on Mendota at this point.
It's almost over before it starts.
Wow.
And the CRI Cambridge crew have a massive crab.
Yeah, I don't think we need to wait for the official results to come in to know who crossed the line first.
And I don't think Stroke Seat will be rowing back to the dock today. I think that one's there to stay. So Community coming through in a time of 1:19.87. That's, of course, Community Rowing / Cambridge Boat Club. So it's a composite crew.
Yeah, Community rows out of Boston. It's an interesting program where it's a combination of high performance, but they also do run a large program for inner city youth, paying to have them driven in each day to really get the full benefit of the sport of rowing, and understand that people who are rowing generally continue to row at a high level and row at the college and university level. So it's a good introduction for these athletes and a good motivator to continue with their education.
Community Rowing also a host of a pretty intensive coach education program as well, and really gracious hosts, quite frankly. They had us down, my crew, when we were down at Head of the Charles to jump on an erg the day before our race, and it was really special to have somewhere that we could kind of go in and hang out.
Cool.
Congratulations again to Community. Looks like Steve Ross in stroke seat of that crew. I just noticed that, Mike.
Yeah, I was talking with Steve yesterday. A friend of his from University of University of Washington is there. Steve, I coached last year. He won the senior men's heavy single CSSRA championships, won the IRA stroking the 3v8 this year, and was part of the University of Washington crew that won English Henley.
And his sister Morgan Ross, a two-time world champion.
Yeah, Steve's had quite the last year.